Hey guys, I am finally back. Oh my gosh, it's been a minute and I am so excited to make this video. It's been a while, and I feel like this is my first time because it's been, I think, 2 months. Oh my gosh. Wow. To my old subscribers, thank you so much for your support, for your messages, trying to check up on me. I am perfect. Just that my life has been, kind of busy lately and my schedule has been changed. My life schedule, everything about me right now has been changed. And I am trying to find a balance. So that's why I've been away for a while. And if this is your first time watching my video, please subscribe to my channel because I share information about working in Japan, my life experience here in Japan, and so on. So remember to subscribe before the end of this video. Thank you. So like I said, my life has been quite busy. My schedule has changed. I have moved to a new apartment, a different city, a different job. As you can see from the title, I no longer work as an ALT. I have changed jobs, and for some different reasons which I would be discussing in this video. It's been a while. I've been away for 2 months, and I didn't just think it would be wise for me to upload a video talking about something else without talking about my reasons or the reasons I was away for a while. If you are an ardent follower of my channel and if you've watched all my videos, you would know that I came to Japan as an English teacher, precisely an assistant language teacher, which is ALT. And yeah, I've been here for this is my second year. Surprisingly, this is my second year. Some things happened and I had to change jobs. And one of the things that happened was commuting. So like I said, if you have watched my videos, you would see that there was a video I made about cost of living in Japan. That was when I think I was about 5 months in Japan or something. I was still new in Japan. And I talked about my rent, how much I spent on rent and commuting to work and stuff like that. And I also explained that my school was far from my house. So I would always take a bus, and it was about 30 minutes by bus to my school or to the station, and then I would walk for like 5 or 7 minutes to the school, depending on the schools, because I taught at 2 major schools. But yeah, so all of that has changed. And why it changed was because that became a challenge for me. Commuting, not commuting to work, but commuting to other places. Now, I'm talking about my social life. It was always easy for me to get up in the morning, dress up for work, and go to work and come back. And I was doing that constantly. Of course, that was what I came here to do. But on the other hand, I kind of had challenges commuting to other cities. So I lived in the rural area in Kyoto, and from my former city to Kyoto station was about 2 hours. So you can see how far I lived from the city. Again, in my city, my house was very far from the station, and commuting was a problem. That was very difficult for me to commute to other cities. Number one reason, the buses were not like they are in the major cities. They only pick up 3 times a day and drop off, I think, 3 times a day too. So it was not convenient for me. I had to plan my activities around the pickup time and the drop off time. So the first pickup time is at 7:50, which is the time I go to work because I resume at 8:30. So at 8:20 or something, I'm at work. Yes, so it wasn't really a challenge going to work. But going to other places, other cities, like going to have lunch with friends, stuff like that, was not easy. It was kind of difficult because I had to leave at a certain time. If I don't leave at that time, it would be impossible for me to go out. The bus picks up at the station. When I leave my house in the morning, I go to work and then I go to the bus stop at the station to take a bus back home. So that time, that drop off time is at 6 p.m. That is the last drop of time. And if I miss the bus, it's either I take a taxi or I find somewhere else to sleep. And of course, taking a taxi is expensive. One trip is about 5,000 yen. And yeah, sometimes I do take the taxi home when I miss my bus. My movement was restricted to the schedule of the bus because I don't drive, I don't have a car. So commuting was very difficult. And sometimes when I want to go to the city, go to different places, I have to, go in the morning or go a day before and then spend some time with my friends, like sleep over. And the next day I go out and then come back to my city to meet the bus at 6 p.m. and go home. So I was doing that all the time. Or sometimes when I miss my bus, I call a friend. She lives close to the station. She drives, so she comes to pick me up. But I didn't really like that because I felt I was kind of, bothering her, and I don't really like to bother people. Although she was the one that, told me to always call her each time I needed, a ride home. Yes, but yeah, so a couple of times I would call her, times where I miss my bus and I don't want to spend 5,000 yen to go home because the fare, just a trip costs about 500 yen, 550 yen, which is expensive, but I mean, it's affordable compared to 5,000 yen. The difference is just too much. So sometimes I call her. That's how my life has been. Like my social life was not just smooth because I had to plan every activity. I had to plan when to leave the house. I have to plan how to come back. And when I go out, I have to keep checking the time because I must not miss my bus. And other times when I just feel relaxed and I miss my bus, I'm like, you know what, whatever. I pay 5,000 yen and I go home. Another thing is the bus doesn't work on public holidays and Sundays. I found a church, but I wasn't able to attend the church because the bus doesn't work on Sundays. So on Sundays, you would always find me home, probably recording a video or editing a video or doing something or cooking. My Sundays were just days I would not step out. And if I want to go out on Sundays, I would have to have at least 10,000 yen just to commute to and from the station, not even outside my city. So I would have 10,000 yen to take a taxi to the station and to take a taxi back from the station when I am done. And then I would also have to have at least 5,000, 3 to 5,000 yen to commute outside my city. To and fro my city, I would have to have 5,000 yen. And if I am going for lunch, with friends, I would also budget like 5,000 yen for lunch. It could be less depending on what I'm eating or where we're going to. So you can imagine sometimes I could spend 20,000 yen a day just because I want to go out to have fun. I really try to cut down how much I spend. So that's why sometimes I go out and stay with friends and then, come back the next day, or I call my colleague to drop me off just to cut cost. But there was a day I spent that amount and I was sad. The summary of everything is that commuting was not so easy, and that kind of made me a bit depressed, which would take me to my second point. I don't really like using the word depression because I feel it's just a strong word, but I noticed that if you don't have freedom, lack of freedom can actually cause depression. And it doesn't matter the type of freedom. I didn't have the freedom to commute wherever I wanted and however or whenever I wanted. So that kind of made me depressed. So I thought to myself, how can I get out of this situation? Because one of the reasons I actually chose to leave where I lived was because of the rent. It was very affordable, and I tried to save some money, and yeah, it worked. So that was one of the reasons. And commuting to work wasn't a challenge, but my other life, like my social life, was not really socially right. The social life was not socially something like that. Yeah. So what made it worse was that there was a public holiday and everyone was traveling. I was just left all alone. in my house. I couldn't go out because the bus, of course, it was public holiday, so they don't work on those days. Like about 3 or 4 days, I was home. No one to visit, nothing. My family, of course, not in Japan. Friends are in Japan, but far from me. Going out on my own wasn't possible because I couldn't commute. I don't drive. It would take an hour for me to ride a bicycle from my house to the station. That was a lot. So I didn't bother. And going to learn how to drive, I actually wanted to go to the driving school in Japan to get a license and all of that. But the driving school around my area was Japanese. It was a Japanese driving school. The language of instruction was Japanese, and I don't understand Japanese. So that was another challenge. Everything just made me kind of sad and a little bit depressed. Yes, I would say I was depressed because I noticed I wasn't really excited about anything anymore. I wasn't I wasn't just happy. Sometimes I get back from work and I just cook. So cooking was a way I relax normally. I cook whenever I want to feel relaxed and I never get tired of cooking. Of course, when I have the whole day, the whole 4 days, of course, I will never get tired. So I kept on cooking and kept on eating a lot. Like I ate a lot. As you can see, I have gained some weight that I am trying so hard to lose. And the gym was very far from my house, so there was nothing working. The gym was close to the station. Yes. And the one that was close to my house was about 5,000 yen per hour. Like it was a private gym and it was so expensive. How would I spend 5,000 yen just to work out for an hour? That was a lot. So, yeah, all of this just made me hibernate. I just hibernated. And one of the reasons I decided to change my job, because if I change my job, I would have to change my city. But I didn't have any issues at work. My job was, wonderful. My coordinators were amazing. My GTEs were very good. I had good relationships with all of them. There were no issues at all, and I enjoyed working at my schools. I've never really had any bad work related experience. Everything has been good, for me. Yeah, but then I had to leave. It was sad because I had bonded with all of them, the teachers, my students, but I had to leave. And so I sent my coordinator an email and told her what was going on. I told her I was getting depressed, I needed to leave, stuff like that. They tried to convince me, which is the normal thing they would do, but my mind was made up. I needed to change my city. So the third reason was career progression. Before I came to Japan, I was teaching and I'm still teaching. So teaching has been my career. I have always been a teacher. So I thought being an ALT was not just, giving me the satisfaction I needed. It was my first year and my first time being an ALT. So it was amazing. I had a good experience, but I had to progress. I had to move forward. So I got an offer, and right now I am not an ALT. I'm a homeroom teacher, like a class teacher. I also have a partner, okay, because I don't speak Japanese. I have a partner. I have colleagues that are from America, Australia, Canada, Japanese that speak English. It's very diverse, which is one of the things I love about this new job. I don't have to rack my brains before I speak Japanese. So when I'm at the teacher's room, I talk. I have people I talk to. I'm very free. It's not I don't feel I'm in Japan, even though I am in Japan. My school is like a bilingual school, English and Japanese. So the major language there is kind of English, I think so. The third reason is salary. Of course, we all want better pay. I wanted a better pay, and the ALT salary was just fair, just enough, to pay for my bills. And, with my cost of living, I could save some money, not so much. But here, the salary is better, more attractive, and, you know, We want more money. It's not all about the money, but money is important. Again, when I was an ALT, I didn't have any transportation allowance. So I was actually paying for my fare every month by myself. So here I received, my transportation allowance, which is the norm in Japan, but some dispatch companies don't just pay that. So you have to pay from your salary, which was what I was doing. Here it's different. These are my main reasons for quitting my job as an ALT. I would like to encourage anyone, willing to come to Japan or that is in Japan. It is important to always complete your contract. So changing jobs is okay, but you have to follow the process. You have to give notice when necessary. You have to complete the contract. That is very important. Okay, so this is all for it, and like I said, I am back and I have lots of information to share. And if you have questions, you can leave it in the comment section or send me a message on Instagram. I'll try to reply your messages as soon as I can or whenever I can. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you again in my next video. Bye for now.